Trading Pokémon!
Man, Hisui and Zoro is so cute! But I can't find them anywhere in my game. Wonder if any of my friends have one.
Oh, did you try the GTS in the Pokemon Home Cloud service?
No, what's that?
It's a cool feature. You trade Pokemon all around the world. Search for the Pokemon you want, then it'll look for a trainer that's interested and willing to trade one to you.
Maybe I can get Hisui and Zoro!
You can! And you can also trade a random Pokemon with another trainer using the Wonder Box. Or even trade those random Pokemon with friends in a room trade. Not knowing what Pokemon you'll get makes these kind of trades really fun.
Wow! That sounds so fun! Let's do it! Download Pokemon Home to get started!
Alright guys, today we are back to look at Pokemon Home. We are moving from the home console edition on the Switch over to the mobile version. And the first thing we're going to do is first I'm going to clear the bubble in my throat. Then I'm going to transfer the Pokemon from Go on over. I sent a few Pokemon over today from Go so I could show you guys what it looks like when you do that. It's fairly easy to do. I had 3 Bastiodon, so I'm just gonna send these guys on over. And a Rattata. R. So the mobile app definitely seems to be the superior version of Pokemon Home. There's so much more that you can do here. And I don't want to click on the Friends tab and give away their information, but obviously you get what a Friends tab is for. It's for friend codes and stuff. There's a news section. They're gearing up for the shiny Black Rayquaza stuff that's going to be happening. I have managed to finish most of the challenges. I need to deposit 1 more of each contest, and I have somebody on Reddit that's helping me with that. But you can see that there are a ton of challenges compared to the home console version. Now, a lot of people have complained that some of these are a little more on the ridiculous side, because you start getting into like good old Kanto region. That means red version, which is virtual console for the 3DS. But you could see where it's like Register Cosmog, Cosmodium, and Solgaleo and Lunala from the Alola region. That means you needed to have played Sun and Moon and transferred those over. So it could be a little agitating, them asking you to transfer Pokemon from games that aren't really available anymore. Some of the more ridiculous ones are from like the GBA era. Transfer something from Fire Red, Leaf Green, and so on. I can understand the ones like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Those games aren't super duper old in comparison, but very much quite out of date. And some of these, like the 2 Dunsparce or Dunsparce, you know, that's a more modern, you know, that game is the most recent game. So, but thankfully I think I got a lot of this done back in the day without realizing that these were even here. back in the 3DS era when I would use Pokemon Bank and Home and all that. I think that's where I cleared out a lot of the older missions. Of course, when I really started hunkering down and working on these, I ended up having to really utilize the GTS to get it done, and I spent weeks just transferring legendaries and shinies from Pokemon Go to use as trade fodder. And then I was finally able to get like Blastoise, Venusaur, Charizard from Fire Red and Leaf Green. Those were the hardest to do. These register fairy type Pokemon, that's easy. We did that through just working on the living decks. The nature stuff was easy. Depositing them in certain balls was easy. Yeah, but oh boy. Then there's other. These are app specific, and I managed to get all of these done. Trade is what's still holding me up at this point, and I shouldn't be getting a phone notification if I'm recording my screen. That's annoying. But the room trade stuff is really annoying. I still need to do host room trades. I'm just going to have to sit down with a couple of friends one day and really work on that one. The GTS is here. That's a holdover from the DS era of Pokemon. It was not a thing. It's not a thing on the home console side. It is strictly here for the mobile app. I'll just toss in a random Pokemon and show you guys. Now, let's see, what kind of Pokemon do we want? Let's say we want Pidgey. We'll just ask for a Pidgey. I think most people are familiar with how the GTS works. It's seen some changes over the years, but it's still more or less broken because people are always going to find a way to be a-holes about it. But if you pay for the premium, which I don't remember how much it is, but I pay every February. I pay for the annual subscription so I can get all the boxes and all the features. You get up to 3. I think it's just 1 Pokemon if you don't pay for premium. Wonder Box, you can deposit a handful of Pokemon at the same time. Ignore all these Volcanion or whatever they're called. My friend sent me those from the 3DS era. I think they're all event. We were trying to clear the what do you call it? Cherish Ball. Deposit Pokemon in Cherish Ball was what we were working on. Deposit these. But yeah, when you have the premium version subscription service, which most people this day and age say that you should be paying for online gaming. I tend to agree, but server cost is a thing, so I'm a little forgiving in some aspects. As long as my Steam and PC stuff remains free, I'm cool. But you have a full array here of slots that you can trade with. Room trade is really annoying. The way this works is you can toggle it on to be visible or non-visible. If you choose non-visible, you won't know what everybody's bringing into the trade. It'll be kind of a surprise. Like I said, I need to sit down and do this one day with friends, because when I try to do it, randos don't show up. I don't think people like that function very much. Let's see. You can change this to where it just shows Bulbasaur or the first Pokemon in your boxes, or you can change it to be random. I have it set to random. So every time I swipe and swipe back, it'll be a different Pokemon from my collection. Just hanging out there. Let's see, what else can I show you guys? You'll notice the little trainer hats on Pokemon that have my trainer ID. This is my trainer ID from Pokemon Go. I sent over a Corsola so I could evolve it, because I am still working on the Pokedex. Show you guys how this works here too. There's a mystery gift function, Pokedex catch calendar, which I don't think I've ever looked at catch calendar. Oh, okay. It kind of just shows you the more recent Pokemon that came in. Battle data. Yeah, I don't really ever look at those myself, so let's take a look at the Pokedex. All right, now I have managed to finish. Like I said, I started back in the 3DS era uploading Pokemon to bank and home. So I did finally finish filling in the gaps, which was no easy feat. Now, when you do, and I said this in the other episodes, you know, when you finally do finish the Pokedex in Pokemon Home, you get a Magearna. So I was pretty stoked to get Magearna. It's one of my favorite Pokemon in my collection. And of course, you could see we finished the Pokedex. Now you can click on games, and you can see here that not only is there a full dex in home for you to finish, but each game has its own dex. And what you have to do is you have to bring in a Pokemon from that game. So let's say that I needed to fill this dex out. I could not just bring a fetchling over from previous games. It specifically needed to be from Violet or Scarlet for it to count. So that's how that works. I did manage to finish these up. It wasn't as hard as you might think. It might take you a week or two if you're diligent and just work on it. Some breeding is necessary to get some of the stuff done. A lot of evolving is necessary. But you'll get there if you're diligent and just keep working on it. I don't remember which one of these was the hardest, I'll be honest. I think the Kanto Dex might have been the easier. The Pokemon Go Dex is the one that's going to be the hardest because Niantic is very finicky about releasing Pokemon. You know, when Pokemon Go first premiered back in 2016, we had only Kanto Pokemon for like a year or two. It was a long time before they introduced the Johto Pokemon. Now, they got all the way up to current Pokemon and then just kind of stopped. Now when they release a Pokemon, it's in an egg or behind some sort of research that's really hard to get done because people aren't playing the game. You know, there's not as many players today as there used to be. So, you know, especially for somebody like me, I live in a more rural area. The player base around where I live has fallen off completely. I was using Facebook Messenger for years. We had a group that fell off and died. Then I quit using Facebook altogether. You know, I wanted to shrink my social media presence. I tried using the Campfire app that Niantic made, but nobody was on there using it. So it's kind of been a shit show. Now, here's where we first get into our first problem here. I can't send a Spinda from Pokemon Go. It will not let me. So that's just kind of sitting there now. I don't have a way of doing anything about that. But in order to register them here, they have to come from Pokemon Go. The other day I sent my only Rotom just to finish that section, and that was annoying. Sigalith is regional. I want to say it's regional to like Egypt and the surrounding areas, which I understand, but I don't have it. Let's see. The sword Pokemon has been unreleased. Alucha is regional to Central America, so like Mexico. So I don't have that. I don't know if Klefki's been released. I only have one Zygarde and I don't want to send that over, you know. Wishy-washy or wishy-wishy or whatever this thing's name is has not been released. Same for Mudberry, Mudbray, or whatever this thing's name is. The further you get into the franchise, the names kind of tend to escape me more and more. But you can see you start getting into the territory with more and more unreleased Pokemon, and it really ramps up times 10 when you get to Gen 8, because there are a lot that are missing. I think one of the more recent additions was Sinistee. I sent over one of the ones I got in Go. But yeah, that's I don't know if I'll ever finish getting all the Pokemon for this section. As Pokemon Go continues to wither and die, I know that I don't play it every day. I sometimes I might not turn it on an entire week at a time. So it's getting to the point where Pokemon Go, I think it might need to be retired. I think the game is kind of it's jumped the shark, the Sharpedo. But let me see, what else can I do? There's the search function, which is nice. You can sift through boxes this way. Let me scroll down here. You see I have them listed. Shiny trade. Let's see what's in my trade box. Yeah, see. This is all like trade fodder stuff that I would get rid of. Except for these guys. The friend sent me these. Again, just so I could do the Cherish Ball achievement. But that's more or less home for mobile. I'm trying to think what else is crucial to show you guys. Oh, the GTS is finished. Cool. I was kind of hoping it would get done while we were here. Pidge. What's up, Pidge? That's the GTH. But there you have it. That's more or less Pokemon, sorry to say Go. Pokemon Home for mobile. I highly recommend it. Like I said, you click on the Friends tab, which I won't do here because I don't want to dox my friends' friend codes. But you can trade your Pokemon with your friends just on mobile without even needing to turn your Switch on or anything like that. So that's a nice little feature to have. They're not laid out in the same kind of box format that they are on the console version, which is a detriment if you ask me. I would prefer for them to be laid out the way it is on the console, but what can you do? They're all my unknown. Let's see, let's do it by Pokedex number. There you go. Well, I guess I can have them laid out that way. Look at all my hat Pikachu. Look at the little feller. Well, alrighty, folks. I think that's going to do it for today's episode of Pokemon Home. I don't really have any other updates after this for a while, but when I do, we'll be back. I suspect we probably won't have another Pokemon Home update on my channel until we get to Legends ZA, which comes out in 2025. So when that comes and we start collecting new Pokemon that we don't have for the living decks, I'll be back. You guys know I'll be back to show you what's up. I hope that this little Pokemon Home series has been informative. It's not a playthrough necessarily, but I hope that it's helped people understand these apps a little more. I'm sure there's a lot of nuances and things that even I'm unaware of. Maybe some little Easter eggs I don't know about. I haven't really ever looked up anything on these apps. Everything I know is just from using them myself. But I highly recommend them. Like I said, the biggest thing for me is being able to trade Pokemon on mobile, you know, without needing to run home and grab my Switch if I'm at a convention or at a friend's place, wherever I am in the world. As long as the other person has Pokemon Home on their phone, we can do a quick trade, and it's great. But that's going to do it for me for today's episode. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, rest of your week, rest of your month, rest of your year, rest of your years. And I'll see you back here next time. See you, folks.